ready for UFC 299 this weekend? Well, I got some exciting news for you UFC fans. I have teamed up with DraftKings Sportsbook to bring you the ultimate fight night experience. Imagine this, you're a new customer to DraftKings, you place an initial wager, and if that bet doesn't hit, no sweat. You will get a bonus bet back in the amount of your original bet up to $1,000. Just download the DraftKings app. Make sure you sign up using my promo code Sonnen. The crown is yours. And DraftKings has got something for the existing customers as well. All customers get SGP insurance every day. Get a bonus bet back in the amount of your initial bet if one leg of your SGP loses. Minimum number of legs required and maximum bet varies. If sportsbook betting is not yet available in your state, don't worry. You can still join in on all the fun with DraftKings Daily Fantasy. Download the DraftKings app right now. New customers, use my promo code Sonnen and get a no sweat bet. That's promo code Sonnen only at DraftKings Sportsbook. All right, guys. So let's talk a little AJ Francis Ngannou. Now, I'm away. I'm still in lockdown so that I don't have to stomp a mud hole in some J-Bro called Gamebris. I'm going to move over to the window here, get you guys a little bit of a better view. I'm pausing and I'm stalling because I'm getting my thoughts together. Francis Ngannou and Anthony Joshua. There's a few things on this. Where do you want to begin, guys? You want to start with the X's and O's? The X's and O's, if you missed this, it wasn't long. You had, I believe, less than 4 minutes of boxing. Anthony Joshua comes out, and he begins landing jabs to the body. And jabs to the body are just so wildly effective because they seldomly miss. You've heard a million times, right? The head can move, but the body can't. So you get a good boxer that knows range, right? Well, that's not a problem. Go to the body, they seldomly miss. Why don't guys do it more? Why don't they do one punch to the body? Well, it's not because it counters. They just feel they have better moves. They would rather not land as many, but have the oohs and the ahs of the crowd. Just for example. And I'm telling you that because there's not many fights I could compare this to. Joshua comes out, he throws a straight jab to the body. He moves around a little bit. He throws a straight jab to the body. Now, there's a lot of calculations that's going on there. He's testing speed right now. He's seeing if he can get there, if Francis can react, if Francis can counter. There's a rule in fighting. If something works, do it again and do it all night long. If you have a combination that lands, do that combination again and again and again, with the theory being, if the guy didn't see it the first time, if he fell for it the first time, right, if his reactions or his sight patterns allowed that to happen once, he's not going to be able to correct it. That's something you have to go in the gym. Your coach has to identify. You need to spend a period of time working on. Great, I only bring that up because Joshua went through this and it was a feeling out process. He goes through it again. He was feeling it out. Then he gets into it again, but then it's just a little bit more power. Francis starts reaching for it. It's all Joshua wanted. Joshua wanted two things. He wanted Francis to reach for it, to bring this hand down, to reach for it. He also wanted Francis to be comfortable and confident that when he changed elevation, he was going to go to the body. Those were his only two goals. Now, of those two objectives, for success, you only need one to work. You either need Francis to reach for it, or you need Francis to just believe that that's where you're going. Oh, he stepped in and changed elevation. He's going to the body. Oh, he stepped in. Oh, he's going to the body. Of course he's going to the body. That's what he's done the last 8 times. That's very normal, right? This is very basic stuff. But even on the highest levels, the basic stuff work. It's the basics that you're going to turn to. And I tell you that because all Joshua did is change elevation like he was going to go to the body, and then you guessed it, pop upstairs with the other hand, hit him in the face and put him down. Uriah Faber 101. Uriah Faber, you can watch him train, you could watch him warm up, you could watch him win world championships. He will change elevation, and then the attack will come. Change elevation, hit a double leg. Change elevation, hit an uppercut. Change elevation, hit a hook. Change elevation, throw a straight. You never know what's coming. And he always does something different at the elevation change. So now you're guessing. You don't know what's coming. I'm just sharing this with you. Like, this was so basic by Joshua. And that's going to be one of the storylines. So let me wrap the X's and O's. Comes out for the second. Francis gets up, but it's bad. It's like a cartoon. Francis goes down and he slides back. And they played it on replay. I thought, my God, did my eyes see that wrong? It looked like he fell down and slid back. So I watched it. No, he goes down onto a canvas, which is a lot of friction, and he slides back. It's actually quite impressive. You want to give Francis Ngannou some credit? He got up. There are not many other guys that would have got. This was bad. And the referee counted to 9, and Francis got up, and that was a complete judgment call. If the referee wanted to stop it right there, there would have been not one boo, not one complaint, and that includes by Francis. Okay, great. He finishes the round. Give Francis some credit for that, right? Second round comes. Same thing. Same thing, but quicker. AJ, change elevation, hit the body, change elevation, boom, blast him. Instead of doing it 7 or 8 times like he did in the first, he did it once or twice, came upstairs, cleaned him up. Francis goes down again. It was a 9 count. I felt like it was a little bit fast, too, by the way, which is no part of this story. I just shared that with you. Like, I kind of felt like we got to 9 pretty quick. And, again, the referee could have stopped it. There was, Francis got to his feet. Like, that's the part where you credit Francis. He got up and said, I want to go. I'm just sharing you. There was nobody home, right? You see it in the eyes and the face, and there's nobody home. Does it one more time, and Francis is not only out, he is out cold. You could count to 1, or you could count to 100. Fight's over. About 4 minutes in. Now, many things are happening here. That's the fight. The other side of it, where do you go from here? Like, what does that earn Joshua? Nothing. It won't change anything. If Joshua had beat Francis by a unanimous decision, if he beat him by a split decision after a long, drawn-out war, or he stopped him like this, it doesn't put him in a different position. It does clear a little air. It does bring a little bit of clarity. It's a good win for boxing, and boxing needed one of these. Man, this is the 3rd time MMA versus boxing. Boxing got embarrassed both times. What should have happened, in all fairness, every time, this should have happened to Conor, should have happened to Fury, should have been able to do this. The MMA guy should have got embarrassed. The MMA guy should not be able to make it with no experience 4 minutes. He just shouldn't. I come from a wrestling background. I mean, I would just tell you, there's not a man alive, no matter how talented, that has never had a wrestling match that could go 4 minutes with Jordan Burroughs. I mean, that's silly that I said 4 minutes. That's just what should happen. But that's another part of the story. Because Fury is in a spot of explanation. And I can't give it to you. When I watched Francis versus Fury, I cannot explain to you how that happened. Well, gonna have to rematch him, right? Gonna have to put him in there and see it again. Well, not in a sport where perception is reality, because perception is now Fury underestimated and performed so poorly against Francis that's why we got all 10 rounds in. And I do not tell you with a clear heart and mind that that's what happened. I'm telling you that's what's going to be perception. And you could for sure sell Fury versus Francis to a degree if you wanted to. And I bring that to you because Francis has been on record saying, regardless of what happens in his fight with Joshua, regardless of what happens with Fury and Usyk, he will be fighting Fury again. And he said it from a perspective that he had that deal in place. It's important that we know that because Francis has told us about a number of deals that we've doubted, and every one of them's happened. So see where that goes. I mean, tonight is very different. What should have happened, happened. And I know Francis had a different head, and a different mind, and a different comments. I understand those things. What happened tonight is what should have happened. Should have happened to Conor. Should have happened prior. That should have happened tonight. But with that in mind, well, I'm saying it's what should have happened. With that in mind, Francis didn't land a punch. There was not a shot landed by Francis. He didn't touch Joshua. And Joshua threw 3 power shots all night. 2 of them put him down. The third one put him down and put him at him. I'm just saying, when you break this down by the numbers, this is what boxing people are going to do. I'm coming from a perspective, hey man, I'm an MMA guy, and I'm proud of Francis. I'm proud of him for having the courage. Joshua could have stepped up the first time, and he didn't. I mean, there's another way to go as far as the psychology here, but as far as putting the toothpaste back in the tube. In the States, where they follow a sustainable business model, this would be a wrap. We can't guarantee that's the situation. And with big risk comes big reward. With big risk can come big fails as too. So that's what happened. If I was to guess for you what happens next, Fury and Joshua, if Fury gets by Usyk, find a way to each other. And I would not suspect, with Fury getting a win over Usyk, that there's any scenario where that rematch happens. However, if Fury gets cleaned up by Usyk, I mean, right, with the right interview and the right skills, it's a stretch, guys. This is likely a wrap to the boxing career, but we'll see what happens. I do predict for you that my storyline will be right, though, as far as boxing now correcting itself. Joshua is going to have a great time explaining why he did this. The person who brought him over, His Highness, publicly told Joshua, get Francis out of there. Don't let him come over to boxing and embarrass us. Get him out of here. Joshua will use that just because this is the guy that wrote it. He will say, I was told to do this, and Conor got carried, and Fury carried him, and I just did what any boxer could do. These will be the storylines. This is the way it goes. This is tough and unforgiving business. Only thing that's real in this business is the money and the miles. And this pain that Francis is going to feel from all the media, the people turning on him, that was never real in the first place.